Perplexity just released a brand new feature called Labs. And in this video, we are going to see if it is worth upgrading to Perplexity Pro to get this feature. I paid the $20, so you don't have to, and you can just watch this video. So be sure to watch till the end to find out if it's worth the money. So what makes Perplexity Labs different from just normal Perplexity search? So Perplexity has the ability to generate more advanced final presentations, files, images, mini apps, and other interactive elements. So in many cases, it's going to actually generate code that you can download from your project. And if we see here below, some examples that it gives are flashcards for studying, slides for a class like a presentation, sales automation, something like that. You can get more of them as well. Analysis of NVIDIA's last financial report. So kind of more advanced reporting. And it also has access to the web. If you hover over or hover over here, we can see more information that we can do. So we can set different sources. So the web by default is checked, but you can also search academic papers, for example. You can search social, finance, and then also attach files as well. So it's going to have access to more information. So the way I'm thinking about it is it's kind of a combination between Perplexity and Lovable or Bolt. Now, what I'm curious about is it worth using this over those tools? So I think this is pretty cool. I like the idea of analyzing a stock. So why don't we do that first? We'll go through a few examples. So under the sources, I'm going to check off finance, and I'm going to say, please create an in-depth document analyzing the latest Shopify stock 10K data. And let's go ahead and send that off. And I checked off SEC because it's finance. And what happens is what Labs is going to do is tell you how long it's expecting it to take. So it's going to do it all on its own. You can think of it kind of like an agent going and doing it. I'm going to click notify and turn on my notifications so that I know when this is done, so then I can go to another tab, and I'll pause the video and let you know once this is ready. So it's not quite done. There's 2 minutes left, but I want to show you what's happening behind the scenes. So first, what Perplexity did was search for information about the latest 10K filing for Shopify. So it did a bunch of searches here. And then it looks like once it got all of the data that it needs, it's switching over to programming. So it's using Python, and it says it's generating visual analysis and just doing more analysis with Python. And here it's you can see it's telling us exactly what it's doing with creating this chart. So here we are with the first answer to our first question. And it looks like what Labs did here was essentially create a detailed report. And what makes this report different from using something like ChatGPT Deep Research or even Perplexity Deep Research is it included charts, which is pretty cool. So it built out custom charts, and it also may have used more sources than it would have used otherwise. So overall, I do think this is pretty cool. And there is a use case here for like research reports where you want charts. And I'm sure we could even ask for more charts if we wanted in the future. So while the first answer was being generated, I went ahead and created 2 more answers by Perplexity Labs. So you can have multiple going at one time. So you don't have to wait for one before the others. So here what I asked it to do was more of an app. So I wanted it to create a QR code generator with tracking. So one thing that's interesting is it searched Reddit to just learn more about what people might be looking for with a QR code generator. It kind of summarizes it. It gave me a kind of a tracking workflow, which is kind of interesting. So it's almost gave me a research report comparing to alternative options, which is kind of funny, like 5 different options of different features that they have. And then if we go down, it just kind of did it as a report. But if we go up to the top, we can see what it actually created. So if we click view full screen, we can see there's a generator and then there's analytics. So let's enter one. So let's say it's nocode.mba. You can choose the size. We can choose the color. So let's make it blue in the background. We'll do white. Error correction. I'm actually not sure what that means, but I'll leave it on the default for now. And I'll generate the QR code. So here's the QR code. And if I go to analytics, we can see our QR code is there. And let's I can also copy the tracking link to see what it is. Just copy the link. And I can also download it. But let me use my phone now and see if I can scan it and see what happens. So I just tried to scan this with my phone and it actually did not work. So I'm kind of thinking this might not be fully functional, but it did build out like kind of the base of an app, which is kind of cool, but it didn't work. So for me, like what I'm seeing so far in the examples that we've done, like for building an app like this, I would still use something like Lovable. But for doing research reports, this seemed to do really well. Okay, and finally, I asked it to build an interactive dashboard of the current US national debt. So here is the dashboard that it created, and I can also download the code, which is kind of cool. It looks like I clicked that and it downloaded and then opened a new tab, but this is the back to the dashboard that it created. If we go down, it also kind of creates a research report with more information, but I want to focus on this dashboard that it created. So here we can see it has a dashboard which is actually working and increasing by $52,493 every second. It has more information where the debt is, historical trends and projections, and I'm assuming it got this from citations that it actually looked up. And if we go up, we can go to, okay, got it. So on the top, it's just bringing us to different pages. So this is just like a really cool dashboard displaying data. So kind of like an interactive report. Now on the top, if we go to app, so now we can see it again without full screen. On assets, we can see all of the kind of Python code that was written, everything that is inside of the dashboard. Under tasks, we can see what it did to create it. And then under sources, we can see all the sources that were used to create our dashboard. So overall, my takeaway is that for interactive dashboards that are feeding in data, I think this is a really, really great tool. So for researchers, for students who want to create research papers, anything that's research related that you want to bring in real data and create reports that have charts and dashboards, I think this is a great tool. For something like building apps, I still would use tools like Lovable and Bolt that are meant specifically for that. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Click the link in the description to get our curated list of 59 AI app business ideas. If you want to build an AI app but don't have any ideas, we have a free list that you can check out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.